Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to Ticking Clock, your podcast home for everything entertainment, politics, sports, news, and all the stories shaping our world. If you enjoy the show, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. It really helps us grow and keep the conversation going. There are moments in sports when frustration and disappointment build slowly, not from a single bad performance, but from a long, bitter accumulation of decline. For the Pittsburgh Steelers and their veteran head coach, Mike Tomlin, the latest blowout loss to the Buffalo Bills appears to have become that tipping point. On Sunday night, as the Steelers' 6-7 defeat on their own turf, the chants ringing through Acrisure Stadium, "Here, Tomlin!" signaled a rare and startling break in the relationship between the franchise and its fanbase. After nearly 2 decades of stability under Tomlin, the sound of thousands calling for his removal marked something deeper than ordinary frustration. But instead of responding with anger or defensiveness, Tomlin offered an unusual moment of self-reflection. "I share their frustration tonight. We didn't do enough." He admitted that the performance was unacceptable and acknowledged the fans' anger as legitimate. It was a striking response that revealed just how serious the divide has become. The moment crystallized multiple layers of dysfunction on the field, within the roster, and in the emotional bond between fans and the organization. What once looked like one of the NFL's most stable teams now appears adrift. For most of Tomlin's 19-year tenure, he was the model of reliability. No losing seasons, consistent playoff appearances, and a Super Bowl title. His reputation for discipline and player leadership placed him among the league's most respected coaches. But in recent years, that track record has increasingly been overshadowed by stagnation and unmet expectations. What was once a franchise known for relentless defense and calculated offense now appears to lack identity altogether. A team losing its edge and its foundation. The Buffalo loss laid this reality bare. Pittsburgh was dominated in every phase: offense, defense, and special teams. The offense produced just 166 total yards, looked disorganized, and failed to maintain possession. The passing game was ineffective, the run game was non-existent, and the offensive line struggled from start to finish. Defensively, the Steelers were shredded for 249 rushing yards. An embarrassing statistic, especially given the team's proud defensive lineage. Even on special teams, there were no moments of momentum or spark. It was a performance that did not merely fall short, it symbolized a team unraveling. For a fan base accustomed to excellence, the collapse was more than disappointing. It was painful. The chants calling for Tomlin's firing represented not just anger over a blowout loss, but years of frustration building into a breaking point. Fans have watched the team lose its identity, its discipline, and its competitive edge. The Steelers once embodied precision and playoff. Today, they look inconsistent, error-prone, and directionless. In many ways, the chants reflected a crisis of belief in what the Steelers stand for, and the organization is still capable of reclaiming its former dominance. Tomlin's response to the criticism was revealing and refreshingly honest. Instead of dismissing fans as emotional or unreasonable, he embraced their concerns. "We are in a sport entertainment business," he said, "and when you root for the Steelers, entertaining them is winning. And so when you're not winning, it's not entertaining." With those words, he acknowledged not only the fans' right to express their anger, but the broader disconnect that has developed between the team's legacy and its current reality. But acknowledging frustration doesn't erase the deeper concerns surrounding the franchise. There are structural issues that go beyond coaching decisions. Tomlin has not led the Steelers to a Super Bowl in many years, and playoff victories have grown increasingly rare. The roster appears imbalanced, the offensive philosophy outdated, and the culture less sharp than it once was. As the league evolves, Pittsburgh's approach has sometimes felt stagnant, leaving them struggling to keep pace with younger, faster, more dynamic teams. Whether these issues are the result of coaching gaps, front office missteps, or both, the cumulative effect has been a prolonged period of disappointment that fans can no longer ignore. Inside the locker room, reactions to the chant have varied. Rookie Jack Sawyer dismissed the calls for Tomlin's firing as bullsh, while acknowledging the team had failed to perform at its expected level. Veteran leader Cam Hayward recognized the fans' frustration, but emphasized that the players themselves must bear responsibility for the failures on the field. Their responses reflect a mix of loyalty to their coach and recognition that the team's problems run deeper than one man. The players know the standard has not been met, and that the criticism, however painful, isn't entirely unfounded. The relationship between a sports franchise and its supporters is built on hope, shared identity, and mutual belief. When performance falters long enough, that bond weakens. Tomlin's candid admission that he understands the fans' frustration symbolizes more than accountability. It signals that he recognizes the trust between the organization and its supporters is at risk. For the Steelers, a franchise defined by tradition and excellence, that trust has always been a cornerstone of their identity. As the season continues, the path forward remains uncertain. Some analysts believe Tomlin's long tenure and past achievements may still afford him time. Others argue that the ongoing decline, marked by inconsistent execution, declining discipline, and a vanishing sense of direction, may force the team into a reckoning sooner than expected. Whether this latest loss represents the breaking point or simply another step toward an inevitable shift remains unknown. For fans, one thing is clear: the Steelers have fallen far from their once dominant standard. Tomlin's transparency may not be enough to restore belief, but it confirms what supporters have sensed. Something is fundamentally broken. As Pittsburgh faces the remainder of its schedule and the playoff picture tightens, the window for redemption grows smaller. Recovering will require more than better play. It will require a renewed vision of who the Steelers are and what they stand for. For Tomlin, this may be the defining challenge of his career. Not just winning games, but restoring faith in the franchise's identity. Whether he succeeds, or whether the chance marked the beginning of the end of an era, is a question the coming weeks may answer. Thanks for listening to Ticking Clock. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Your support keeps the conversation going, and we'll be back with more stories shaping the world of sports and beyond.